Tom,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hey,
I
Will.
mean, yeah, how's it going?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Um, I've been thinking, um, we should start a podcast.
I was
Yeah.
thinking about that, and I don't know. When you see people and you're like, oh, I could probably do like a podcast with that person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And yeah, and I've encountered a few people like that, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
But I feel like it is a thing to do when you like talk to somebody and you feel like this is a person I can talk to.
Right. Right. For potentially like an extended period of time.
Yeah,
You know.
like over 20 minutes.
Right. Right. Yeah. Like there's I've encountered some funny people who I'm like, oh, this person, I could see myself talking to them, but it's after 5 or so minutes. I don't know if I can keep talking to them. You know,
Yeah, it fizzles out,
it fizzles out.
but then if it goes over 5 and over to 20 and maybe even over 20, I
Yeah,
think this could be a podcast.
right, right.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would say I have like a list of people that I can go over 20 with.
Yeah.
But this one, felt kind of natural. So I think it's a good idea overall that we do a podcast. I think it's a pretty good idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm so grateful to be doing this podcast with you specifically. I mean, because we do talk. We have talked before, and now we're getting the opportunity to talk again,
Right.
but as a podcast.
Right. This immediately feels different than our friendship already. It's
Yes.
a little elevated.
Right.
I would
It's like friendship plus.
It's friendship plus. Yeah.
It's like friendship, but also the added opportunity of people witnessing our friendship.
Yeah. And I think people have wanted to know about us. I think people, I don't know, they probably know us individually and they're like, "Oh, those guys together. What is that? What's that?"
Well, if you think about it, there's probably, I mean, I individually probably know 20 people.
Right.
And you probably know individually 20 people.
Right.
10 of those people might be crossovers, like people we both know together.
Yeah.
So that's about 30 people at minimum who might want to hear us talk.
That seems like enough to I guess what constitutes enough people to do something. I would say 30.
I think
Probably
30.
like if you have 30 people who listen to something, that's like you should probably keep doing that.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
would
well,
say.
I mean, even if it's one,
Right.
if it's one person, then, and that's making their day,
Then we should, yeah.
it's
then you would-
worthwhile.
It's worthwhile.
But if it's 30, that's even better.
Even better, yeah.
And then, who knows down the line, like when you have this going for, 15 years, that number could
That could-
multiply.
Right.
That could be a lot of people.
And the one of the most interesting things, or at least one of the reasons I was like, oh, could do a podcast would be fun, is that, like you said, over the years, if it multiplies, you might not even know some of those listeners,
Right.
but they don't know you either, really. Feels like they're getting to know you by listening to you, but we don't even know them, and they're sort of friends by association.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, right. And that's interesting because, like, we are like that, it's like increasing listeners, but also increasing friendships. Like we're
Right.
growing friendships, but an even more intimate kind of a friendship where they know about us, but we don't know who they are. They could be anybody, but they're friends,
Right.
but they're our friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm open to that. I think I'm open to that.
To doing a podcast.
To doing it. I think, yeah.
is going to, like, there's so many podcasts,
Yes.
and what is going to make ours unique. And one thing I was thinking about was not releasing it. Maybe it's a podcast that people can't hear, because no one's doing that yet,
That's true.
where it's like, this is a podcast for us,
Right.
and there's not even a subscription model. Even if you subscribe to our Patreon, you can't.
You can't.
It's us.
Right.
It's for us.
That's really cool. Like we could you're saying we could post it on Patreon still, but there's no paywall, it's just behind a wall.
Yes,
You can't access it.
right.
Yeah.
Right. You can pay,
You can pay
but
us.
you can't tear down the wall.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not going to get anything.
You're not going to get anything, but you are a subscriber of the podcast.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And no one's doing that. I don't think anyone has done that yet.
Not yet. I mean, like, but you'll get announcements like new podcast just recorded, but you can't
Nothing's
hear
there.
it.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's for us.
Right. Right. I like that level of exclusivity.
Yeah.
And again, we're not excluding people. People can, like if we create, I don't know if there's like like a newsletter or something, like creating
Yes.
like a newsletter to like alert people that we did we recorded something.
Mm-hmm. Like an e-blast.
An e-blast.
Yeah. They're sending out an e-blast to everybody. Be like, good news. Me and Tom just recorded a great conversation. Wish you could hear it, but thanks for the support
Right.
from afar.
From afar.
Yeah. We
I-
got merch. You can buy merch.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we could do a merch line.
Yeah.
That could be like a level of access that we, allow people to have, because it's not really a conversation that they can hear. you
Right.
know.
Yeah.
Something though that they can participate in.
And the shirts and the buttons, they might have things that we've said in the podcast,
That's nice.
but there's like an air of mystery because
What does
there's
that mean?
there's no point of reference.
Right.
for
Like an
what it-
inside joke or something on a shirt, and people are like, what does it mean to, mashed potatoes on Sunday?
We know,
We know.
but you don't.
Right.
Inside joke would be a good name.
That would be nice.
Yeah. I always think like good names for podcasts are like phrases that you hear all the time, and then somebody takes that phrase and makes it into a podcast. So inside joke,
Yeah.
or you had to be there.
You had to be there.
You had to be there. An inside joke podcast.
Right. LOL.
LOL. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That's a phrase.
Right. Don't get me started.
Don't get me started is great. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's just me. That's a podcast.
That's a podcast.
Yeah,
Yep.
maybe it's just me.
Yep. I'm telling you for the last time.
Yeah.
These are all
Yeah.
these are all taken, I think. I don't know.
Maybe
Maybe.
people are taking it. But
Yeah.
I mean like there's only so many phrases.
Because when I think about phrases, there is like a limit. There's a limitation
Yeah.
eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's only so many idioms that have been created, I suppose.
That's true.
So to differentiate ourselves, I think, I don't know. We could maybe try to get one of those phrases before it's taken,
Right. Yeah. I guess that's the problem is usually when they're out there, people take the phrases.
That's the problem.
I guess if we came up with our own phrase, maybe we could get it it's almost like we get it on the ground up.
Right.
Like one of those apps that people haven't come up with yet. Like we get it on the ground floor.
That would be, yeah.
And then like in conjunction with the podcast, we're also getting the phrase going in the country. Like we try to like get the phrase its own momentum.
Right. Kind of like a grassroots effort, but
Yeah.
like with a phrase
Right.
where no one's heard of this before, but we're making it into a thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And we have like we're following two tracks at the same time where we're trying to get momentum on the podcast but also on the phrase.
Right. Right.
And then like people are addicted to the phrase and then they're like they're putting it in a search bar, and what's the first thing that comes up is our
A
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think people want podcasts.
I think
I think they want
that's
podcasts.
I think that's what they want, that more than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's cuz it's sort of a product, but it's also not. You're digesting it,
Right.
but it's also not something it's not like a book where it's like this is going to take up space on my shelf.
Right. Right.
But you're getting as much information from a podcast as you would in a book
Yeah.
without the burden of physicality.
Yeah. You can be on the beach.
Yeah.
Have your headphones in and, you can be listening to a podcast. You can be at the gym. You can be on a you can't read a book on a treadmill. I mean,
No.
that's too yeah, but you can multitask. This is the best art form, I think.
I think so.
I think it's the best. Yeah.
I think it's taken over film.
Yeah, I would say so.
You can't watch a film while you're driving.
Right.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, and paintings are just one thing.
Right.
It's like you're looking at it and it's one thing.
You can't, run
No.
and look at a painting.
No.
This seems like the most versatile idea was to do this idea, I think.
Yeah.
The idea that we're starting a podcast, I think, is probably better than most. Probably better than most.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
mean, like, how much transportation are we going to be responsible for by coming up with content that people can listen to while they're transporting things?
That's a big part of it, right? People love to, when they're moving through space, they like to listen to things.
Whether it's running or
Yeah.
driving or flying or by train or by boat, by sea or by air.
Yeah.
There's always podcasts.
You bring up an interesting point about boats. I've never thought about like podcasts and boats and the fact that actually probably, I'm sure there's boat content for podcasts, but I don't know if we're talking about untapped markets, how we can differentiate this. That seems different.
I mean, there is like a huge, like, I don't see a lot of content for boats
No.
or boat captains,
Right.
like people who drive boats for a living or for recreation.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, whether you're doing it professionally or as a hobby,
Yeah.
I don't even see, like, even in film, there's not a lot of, if there is a movie about a boat, it's when something goes wrong.
Titanic.
Captain Phillips.
Yep.
It's like Speed 2, Cruise Control.
Right.
These are all when bad things happen on a boat. There's no like good thing.
There's no like, no one's kind of like having a regular day on a boat. Like, oh, woke up,
right.
things are fine.
Yeah.
Something's wrong.
Right. Yeah. There's no rom-com on a boat like a Sleepless in Seattle
Right.
where it's just they're on different ends of the boat
Yeah.
and then they meet up at the same place on the boat at the end of the movie.
It's rare.
Yeah.
It's
like,
rare to see that.
But in real life, there's probably a lot of romance.
Exactly. I think it's probably more common
Mm-hmm.
than people think.
Yeah.
And I would think that people have downtime,
Oh, yeah.
especially when you're out at sea,
Yeah. Enough
Probably
time.
a lot of downtime. Yeah.
A lot of time to like listen to
like,
a podcast.
Let's do yeah.
Yeah.
Let's listen. Yeah, let's listen in.
Right.
Let's listen to something.
Yeah.
It's going to be a couple hours till we dock at the next port.
Right.
Or,
That could be the name.
right.
Let's dock at the next port.
Let's dock at the next port.
And then it's like we go through, maybe like we just go through ports. It's
Yeah.
like we're going to go over, this podcast is going to be about this port. And we're going to go port by port.
Port by port.
Port by port could also be the name.
That could, yeah.
Yeah. And just be like, okay, what, like we'll just like,
Be like, how about that How about that fish smell
Yeah. What?
at that last one?
Right. I also wonder, is it the fish smell or is it the saltwater smell that's
Yeah,
making the fish smell? What would
right.
a fish smell like if it never touched salt water?
Would it be as gross and slimy? I don't know.
I
There's like
don't
a
know.
bit of a slime associated with it too.
Sure. But if a fish never lived in the ocean, what would it be? A
Right.
bear?
These are the questions that were these are see, like, this is the kind of question that makes me want to do a podcast.
Yeah, and like I think like you know, just taking boats or nautical, like you mentioned,
Thematics.
yeah,
Yeah,
like the possibilities are endless,
absolutely.
and that's a like
Is a fish a bear?
is a fish a bear if it's not in the water?
Right.
What is it like?
If a
What
bear
would you call
is
that?
Yeah, what yeah, exactly. Like name that you
Yeah,
know?
right. Name that.
Name that
And what's a boat if it's not in the
in the water. What would you call that?
A car. I
Right.
guess. I don't know. I don't
guess
know.
so. Yeah. No,
I
I think you're
mean-
right. I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cuz
I mean-
sorry.
No, go ahead.
That's another thing.
That's a good
You know.
title. That's another thing.
That's another thing.
That's another thing.
If a boat doesn't have wheels but it's on land, is it like it's a car in the shop? Maybe.
Yeah. Right.
It's being worked on.
It's got those concrete blocks on the bottom
Right.
to keep it up.
Yes.
Yeah. Like that's I don't know. Like that like those are the like there's also those podcasts that like go what's the history of that thing? And it's like maybe the history of the boat was that it was a car that floated.
Right.
And maybe that's how that started. Like I don't know the history of the boat.
I don't yeah, but I know what you're talking about, like those
Mhm.
podcasts that go pretty in depth about it's all backstory.
Yeah.
Like we're going to transport you back in time
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to show you how this thing came to be,
Right.
like origin stories, you
Yeah.
know, that's a very specific type of podcast that, you know, maybe that's what we do.
I'm just throwing this out there.
Yeah.
But there's never been a podcast about podcasts where they go into the history of every podcast that's out.
Interesting.
And it's like, this is like the origin of this famous podcast.
This is how Mark Maron,
Yeah.
you know, became, you know, a famous podcaster,
Right.
you know.
Yeah. How did it start? What was your idea for the podcast?
Right.
And then it's like, because there so many. I mean, there's got to be a million podcasts.
I would put it up around, do you think 1 million? Probably.
So we would have 1 million episodes.
Right.
That's
That's
longevity.
and there's a lot of podcasts. I bet you there's probably at least, I don't know, 10 new ones every day.
Yeah.
People are always, you know, starting them.
Right.
So yeah, I think we would have that would be an endless opportunity.
There's also, just to switch it up every once in a while, there's podcasts that don't even exist,
Whoa.
that are just ideas.
Yes.
And we're just like talking. We would be like, what's your podcast idea?
Right. Right.
You know?
Pitching, shooting the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's okay, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
trying to wrap my head around that one.
Just like people have an idea for a podcast. Let's get them in. How'd you come up with your idea? Are you going to do it?
Right. I always like asking friends that too.
Yeah.
Have you ever, they'll brainstorm up something funny. I'm like, are you going to do it? Are you
Yeah.
going to make it happen?
Right.
Like, that sounds really cool.
Yeah.
I hope I would love that for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But are you going to
Are
do
you going to
it?
do it?
Are you going to do it? What's keeping you?
What's keeping you from doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cuz I feel like I'm notorious with that. Like, I have a lot of ideas and then I'll execute some of them and then some of them are just kind of in the bank,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. The idea bank. Just like leave it in there. And it's like, all right, I got this list of things
Yeah.
that I could do.
Then it makes me think about, like, just how many ideas in the bank, like idea inflation,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
like I need to, these ideas are like costing me a lot more now.
Mm-hmm. They're taking up so much space
Yeah,
in the brain
exactly.
where it's like this is space that could be used for other things
Right.
like problem solving,
Problems. Yeah.
and instead they're just like, here's an podcast idea is in my head instead of actually doing it, instead
Right.
of doing the podcast.
Imagine having the type of brain where you don't create anything, but you have really cool ideas.
Right.
Isn't that an interesting person? That would be a cool person.
Yeah. It would be like,
oh, they have a lot of cool thoughts. Wow.
yeah. When you said that, I thought, like, what would Mozart be like if he just thought, it'd be cool music, and then just never followed through. He just had a lot of good ideas for music.
Right.
Just like, it'd be a cool music idea, like an opera.
It's like, wow, that Mozart guy. He seems like a genius.
Yeah.
It's like, no, he just, works down the street.
Yeah. He
Just
just
a guy.
just coming up with ideas for music,
Yeah.
but not writing any music.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, Thomas Edison's like, what'd be cool about this is like if I could see you.
Yeah. Right.
You
Some
know.
light.
But
Yeah.
I don't need that.
It
I'm
would
like
be
that would just be fun, right?
right. Yeah. It'd be cool to have light that didn't require fire.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, that's a great idea.
Good
I don't
for
know
you.
how to do it.
Yeah, I don't exactly. Can someone figure this out for me?
Right. Yeah.
But what a nice thing this would be.
It'd be great is if I was in New York and you were in Kentucky and I could still talk to you somehow
Right.
using a machine.
Now is that Alexander Graham Bell?
That's a different person.
That's it. Okay, yeah.
That's a different person. Just ideas.
Yeah.
Which could also be a podcast
Just ideas.
where we come up with ideas,
I like that.
but we don't
We don't know how to.
do it. It's just we have ideas though.
Right.
Like, what if there was a way to talk to a dog?
Right.
Like you spoke the same language.
And you could have a regular conversation with the dog, and
Right.
my best friend's a dog.
My best friend's a dog. Yeah. And then I don't know how that would work, but
I think it could be fun if like I don't know if I feel like a lot of podcasts have like experts.
yeah.
Could be fun to like have an expert, and it's like, okay, I want to talk to a dog. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Can you do that for us?
Right. And
That would be cool for us.
we could like get them, like we'll say, we're talking about the thing, like we'll trick them.
Yeah.
We'll say, we're like, okay, we want to talk about what you know. And then we bring them in and be like,
But we actually want to talk to
a dog.
A dog.
Yeah. Do you know how we could do that? I don't know. Like, would that be a dog expert or would that be a speech therapist?
That's a good point.
Yeah. We could have both.
Yeah. I think a trainer would be good. Probably a dog trainer, somebody who, can sort of speak the language, so to speak,
Mhm.
But a speech therapist to actually like make the dog sound like it's talking to us,
Right.
perhaps.
And maybe a dog.
Yeah, maybe a dog.
Also a dog.
Right.
And just put headphones on them and a mic just in case.
That would be good. And also if we rigged up cameras, some podcasts are visual.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be I think people would want to watch that. A dog with microphones, or a dog with headphones and a microphone.
Yeah. That's a good visual.
Yeah.
And that's like a good teaser. Like if we wanted to put a picture of that and just be like, you won't believe what's coming up next.
Yeah. It's like you're not going to be able to listen to this,
Yeah.
but doesn't this look like a cool promo?
Wouldn't you believe? Do you like maybe right? Because they can't even hear it.
Exactly.
So like maybe the dog did talk.
Yeah.
Maybe magic did happen.
Suspense.
Yeah. Sixpence. Right.
Yeah. That is really interesting. I can't think of, again, trying to separate ourselves. I don't think of many podcasts that I've seen with animals. I feel like it's mostly humans talking.
Right. And that's
You
like
know?
that's a whole market right there that's untapped again.
Right.
It's just like, bears, dogs,
Dogs,
cats,
cats.
fish,
Right.
birds. Strictly for the birds would be another
Strictly
great
for the
name.
birds is that's a great turn of phrase.
Yeah.
I
That's
mean, yeah, a parrot.
a parrot.
I mean, that's probably, people will be like, oh, that, I've seen this. But the dog
Right.
thing, it seems like people, that could be very intriguing.
Right.
Like, oh, they actually made a dog talk on their pod.
Right. That would definitely attract listeners. It would be like, look, what other podcast has this? It's a dog that talks.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean, I'm not saying that that's what it should be, but
but it could.
it could be.
It could be.
It could be a podcast about a dog.
Yeah.
A dog that talks.
I mean, everything sounds crazy in the beginning,
Right.
like we said.
Right.
But then it's like, wow, we like if this were 18 something, and be like, what if I told you I can make that picture move?
That would freak everyone out.
That would be
You're
like,
right.
okay, get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here.
You're crazy.
Right.
But right now, the thing we're up against is, what if I were to tell you I can get this dog to start a podcast with me?
Which, if we fast forward, I don't know, 30 years,
Right.
that might be old news.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
now everyone's doing it,
everyone. Yeah, exactly.
but they didn't start it.
Right.
We did.
Right. We were the first people to bring a German Shepherd in,
Right.
put him in a chair,
Yeah.
let him talk about the internet, or I don't know what what the
Yeah.
dog will talk about. But that's another thing. What would you want to hear a dog talk about? I mean,
I guess like what it's like. to
what
be
it's like being a dog.
Yeah. Like, what are they thinking? And like, what do they like? Like their likes and dislikes.
That's really, yeah.
Yeah. Like maybe to bring friction, like we'll bring a cat in,
Wow.
just see what happens.
Be like, do you? I'm falling in love with the idea of asking a dog, what do you like?
Yeah.
You know,
What do you like?
what do you like?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Tell me. What's what's wait dog like are there phrases with dog? What's up, dog?
What's up, dog?
What's up, dog?
Yeah.
It smells like up, dog. What's up, dog? That old joke.
Right.
But we
Right.
call it what's up, dog,
What's up, dog?
And
Interviewing
then-
dogs.
and interviewing dogs. I think because how many dogs are there? Like,
There's a lot. I feel like there's a lot, right?
yeah. So I mean, like, whereas a lot of other podcasts are interviewing celebrity people.
Which is all sort of one category,
Yeah.
you know? You get kind of the same flavor.
Right. But we, again, are interviewing people that no one's ever interviewed before.
Right.
Dogs.
Yes.
So now we get to interview every dog.
Which is I mean, if we can make that happen,
Yeah.
I see that instantly blowing up. Yeah, the idea of just trying to let's make it happen, you know?
Yeah.
Like I want my car to be ice cream.
Yeah.
Can you make that happen,
Right.
sir? I don't know, mechanic, ice cream worker.
Yeah. Why can I not?
Why can't this be a thing?
Right. When we're in traffic, why can't I grab a scoop of my car and eat it
Yeah,
like ice cream?
exactly. Why is this stick shift not a cone?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Why no edible cars?
Right. Right.
A car that you can eat.
A car that you can eat. Edible cars. Yeah. Oh, I'm stuck I broke down.
Yeah.
I need something to eat.
Right.
I'm in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
How about salted caramel?
Yeah. A
You know?
salted caramel car.
Yeah.
Just coated.
Coated.
Yeah. What's stopping them from that?
Yeah.
Is that even on the to-do list for
That
some
could
of
be like,
these?
Hey World.
Yeah.
That I don't know, the Hey World podcast. Hey World, why isn't this a thing?
Right.
I don't,
Hey World. Yeah.
Hey World.
Hey World. Yeah. Why not?
Why not?
Why not? And then they have to answer. They're in the hot seat.
Right. Right.
So we'll have like General Motors CEO here
Yeah.
and be like, well, why not?
Why is this not
Yeah.
It's kind of like one of those podcasts that people are sort of interrogating the
Mhm.
guests,
Mhm.
That's like that's definitely I've seen that podcast energy too.
We could do that.
It's a little interrogation sort of.
Yeah, just sort of shift gears and like get like, now you're in the hot seat.
Yeah,
You're in the
shifting
hot seat.
gears.
It's shifting gears. Hey, now we're going to shift gears. What is your problem?
Right. Right.
Just like get like really
Get very serious. Yeah, very
Yeah.
real.
Yeah. And just be like, first half hour, 45 minutes is pleasant conversation.
Yeah.
And then let's shift gears. What the fuck? What? Who do you think
Who
you are?
do you think you are right
yeah,
now?
who do you think you are?
Yeah.
Yeah. How dare you?
How dare you come in here?
Yeah. And they're like confused.
You're like,
what?
I thought you were going to ask me a question.
No, it's an ambush.
And we're like, never again.
yeah, yeah,
Never again.
yeah. You don't know what you walked into. You
Right.
just don't know. And they're
I've
like-
had enough.
Right. Yeah, I have had enough.
Right.
We have had enough.
We have had enough.
Yeah. And they're like confused. Like, what are you talking?
Yeah. This was so pleasant
Yeah.
until you betrayed my family.
Yeah. Right. You know what you did.
You know what you did.
You know what you did.
Yeah.
And they're like shaking.
Right.
Like, what? What do you? I'm like,
It's always the same with you.
yeah, it's always the same. Yeah. You would say that.
You would say that.
You would say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now it's like the mood just shifted. And then,
I think that could be a fun energy.
that could be. Yeah.
I like podcasts that kind of are dynamic.
Yes.
It changes tone
Mm-hmm.
and you expect people to get along.
Right.
So that's again, you expect that and then you don't get that.
Well, a lot of times interviewers are afraid to go to that area because they want people to keep coming back to the podcast, but because no one can listen, no one knows what's going on. So we can like shift gears all the time, and we get Bill Gates in here, and we're like, talk to Bill Gates, and
Right.
then all of a sudden, who the hell are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you sleep at night?
Right.
Yeah.
Who are you helping?
Yeah. Yeah. Not me.
Not me.
Not
yeah.
us.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I feel like you're on a pedestal. I see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You don't. I guess like we're not on your level, so you don't want to talk to us in a real way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess-
you're too good for us.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You think because you have more money?
Right.
Yeah.
Mr. Rich guy.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Rich.
Oh, Mr. Rich. Okay.
Yeah. We're happy. You
Yeah.
can't buy happiness.
You're alone.
You're alone. You're alone.
You're alone at the top.
How does it feel?
How's it feel?
Yeah. We're comfortable.
Yeah. Must be nice.
Must be nice.
Must be nice being us.
Must be nice. It's nice to be us.
It's nice to be us.
horrible to be you.
Right.
Horrible.
Horrible.
Yeah.
And this is after 45 minutes of just intense tech discussion.
Yeah. Just talking about like,
Yeah.
how does a computer work?
Right.
Another idea I had was this idea of talk to me like I'm an idiot.
Hey. Okay.
You get an expert in and be like, talk to me like I'm an idiot. How does a computer work?
Right.
Like you get Bill Gates. It's like, how does
This thing work? What is, yeah. What am I
Like-
looking at here?
Yeah. Like I use a mouse all the time, but how does it work?
Right.
How does a mouse work?
Yeah. What's inside this mouse?
Yeah.
What's really going on here?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Like
what's
really break it down.
I know a little bit about what I'm clicking,
Yeah.
but what's really going on?
Right. Like how does every move I'm in real time?
Right.
Every time you're moving the mouse, the cursor moves at the exact same time in the exact same space. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
It's insane.
Yeah.
How?
How do you do that?
Yeah.
And explain it to me in the simplest of
Yeah.
terms.
And if it's not simple enough, talk to me more like an idiot.
Yeah. No, really.
More.
really
I'm more
talk
of an
down.
idiot.
Yeah.
Dumb it down even more.
Yeah. Whatever you think, how dumb I am, it's more.
Right. Right.
Really crank it up.
Crank up the dumb. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Because to me, it's magic.
When I think about a mouse.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pure magic.
Yeah. But at the same time, I'm feeling like, can we amp it up? Can I just move my finger?
Right. Right.
Just do that.
Like over a computer screen.
Yeah.
Just sort of like a wand.
Yeah.
Just wave the finger across it. And
Yeah. I think we got to get up to that.
yeah, I could see. And also, like, what is this? What about this nonsense of? I gotta turn on the computer.
Yeah.
Why isn't it on?
Why isn't it just on? Why do I have to plug it in?
Yeah,
Still
and like tell
plug it
me,
in?
and like, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how? Let me know, but
Mm-hmm.
let's keep it real simple. Why is it not on? This is incredible. Yeah,
Yeah. And why do we have to, why does it have to, a power strip for now? It's like, it's time. No
It's
more
time.
power strips.
right.
No more plugging in.
That's wow.
It should just be on.
Yeah, yeah. That's I mean. Thing about podcasts, it's just always on, like this is as a never ending. Why is this podcast? Why did it start?
Yeah.
Why isn't it always on?
Right.
You know, a continuous podcast that never ends. You're like, oh, how
Wow.
because you know how podcasts are like, oh wow, 3 hours 6 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
This is just always live.
It's just a continuous thing.
Right.
There is no episodes. It's just one podcast
Right.
that just keeps going.
Because podcasts usually have episodes,
Right.
but what about no? Yeah, there's no episodes.
No episodes.
It's just the podcast.
It's just continuously happening. And we order food and we just live here
Right.
and we're just always podcasting.
Yeah. Even when
stop.
it's like, I'm tired, it's still going.
It's still going.
It could be silent.
I mean, a sleep podcast hasn't been done either. But it's and like, what are you going to listen to when you're sleeping? Why not a podcast of people sleeping?
Right.
Like-
I mean, I sometimes have trouble falling asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it would be, I could even see people writing in being like, "Hey, thanks. I sleep better now.
Yeah.
Your podcast helped me fall asleep."
Right. And I I plan my day around your podcast, so it's like when you're going to bed, I'm going to bed.
Right.
When
People
you're
syncing
waking-
up with our sleep schedule.
Yeah, and now it's like, okay, now we're 9 to 5 podcaster. You're 9 to 5 workers, we're 9 to 5 podcasters.
Right.
And then afterwards, recreational podcasters. After 5 o'clock, it's recreational podcasting.
It's not even it's not, we're off the clock,
We're off the clock.
and it's maybe, it's a little more after hours,
A little more, yeah.
A
A little more for fun.
Right.
But 9 to 5 professional podcast.
Professional podcast 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can listen to us at work during the whole day
Right.
while you're doing
You
everything.
take your lunch break at noon.
That's when we do it.
We're out
We're taking our lunch break,
taking our lunch break, eating,
eating.
listening to some ASMR kind of vibes of just listening to someone eat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just chewing sounds and
Yep.
pass that. Can you pass that? Pass the salt.
Sure.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Thanks. Yeah. This is good.
I like it. It's pretty trying to eat cleaner.
One thing I like about kale is you know what you're getting into.
That's right.
Yeah. That we could talk about that.
Yeah.
Like food.
Food based.
Yeah. I feel like I know enough about food to comment it while I'm eating it
Right.
on
Right.
a podcast.
Yeah. Like I don't know, I feel like this could use little more heat.
Yeah,
You
right.
know,
Yeah,
like it's not this burrito's not spicy enough for me. I
Right.
should have gone with the hot.
I
The
went
hot
with the
sauce.
mild,
I went with the mild.
but it should went hot.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like these potatoes aren't roasted enough.
right.
I feel
Yeah,
like they should be roastier.
I kind of agree. They feel a little like mushy.
Yeah.
The consistency
Mm-hmm.
mashed.
Maybe a little too mashed.
I gotta agree. I think they're a little. I get like a Thanksgiving kind of feel.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
these carrots are like a little bit too soft for
Mhm.
me.
Yeah, they are watery and soft, soggy carrots.
These are soggy carrots.
Yeah, why would they deliver it like this? Unless it was that happened on the bike on the way over here. The carrots got soggy.
I'll call them.
Thank you.
I'll call Seamless next time. Yeah.
Yeah, just like let them know.
I'm not even gonna complain. I'm gonna be like, hey, just so you know,
Mm-hmm.
when you deliver carrots, it seems like they're coming a little bit like, I don't know if it's the ride that's
Yeah.
making them that way, but
If
a
you
little
could,
soggy.
if you could correct that,
Right.
before you get here, and then mention this is going out on a podcast.
Right.
So they know.
Right. We're not
Yeah.
trying to make a big deal about it, but
yeah.
just for your information, the
Mhm.
podcast. That could be one.
Yeah.
For your information.
For your information.
Just so you know.
Just so you know. Yeah, just so you know. And it's a live reviewing of delivery that we've gotten.
Right. Right.
And like calling them ahead of time. And just so you know, your food's going to be reviewed live on our podcast.
Right.
So
Do your best.
do your best.
We're hoping for. We hope it's good.
We hope it's good for your sake
Right.
and ours.
We would love to give you positive press.
Yeah. It's a win-win.
It's a win-win.
We get good food. You get a good review. Everybody's enjoying the podcast.
We're all winners.
Right.
We're all winners.
And hey, for free, here's a headshot of the two of us signed
Right.
for your restaurant
Right.
if you want to put us on the wall.
I think that's a good idea just in general if we're going to start a podcast, probably sending headshots
Yeah.
of us
Right.
places.
Ahead of time.
Right.
Before we even started. Just be like, just so you know, we're starting a podcast.
I think it's going to be something, so
Mm-hmm.
just so you know our faces,
Mm-hmm.
this is what we look like.
Just might want to put that up on the window or on the wall there.
Right.
And, because it's only going to be a matter of time.
I was thinking about places in my neighborhood. It was like, I don't know, maybe I can print up some for us and
Mm-hmm.
be like, hey, do you have a place that you can just hang things in here?
Yeah.
Maybe just put up our headshots.
Mhm.
Coming soon.
Yeah. Nothing else. Just coming soon.
Right.
What? They're like, what?
Who are these guys?
Gets people thinking.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's going on?
Suspenseful.
Suspenseful. Yeah. That's what I thought that when they were releasing the Grinch movie in 2000,
Yeah.
it was like coming soon, the Grinch. And you're like, what? And I guess you knew it was the Grinch
Right.
and they were making it into a movie. But still there was like this air of like coming soon. Whoa.
Whoa.
They're like getting it pumped up for it.
The less details, the better almost.
The less details.
When is this happening?
Yeah.
I know of the Grinch.
Right. I guess it did say when.
Okay.
And it did say, I guess it did have a lot, but it was still kind of weird.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like coming, well, okay.
Like, I guess I got to get in Grinch mode.
I guess
I
so.
got to get ready.
Get ready for the Grinch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to get changed.
Right. Got to get into my Grinch apparel,
Right.
Grinch merch. And you know what? They were like selling the merch before the movie came out so everybody could wear the merch in the theater. So you look good.
When you say Grinch merch, is
Yeah.
that like t-shirts or
Mm.
masks?
I think it was
Very colorful figure.
Yeah, I mean, was the Grinch costume like a big thing that year? I don't know.
Yeah.
I was wearing like the t-shirts and the hat and the
Right.
and the jacket.
Yes.
It was like Grinch, Grinch, Grinch. It just said Grinch on the hat.
I remember that.
Yeah,
That's right.
and you'd go to the take one for Grinch, please,
Right.
and then you were there. You're all pumped up.
That's a dream.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll take one. Yeah, we're gonna go see the podcast.
the podcast.
We're excited.
Right. Can I get one
That's-
ticket for the pod?
Yeah. Like when you think about starting a podcast, is that something just talking about like podcast goals?
Mm-hmm.
I would love the idea of like someday people are like waiting in a line at a theater to go watch our movie
Yeah.
podcast.
The
Our podcast movie.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take one. I
Yeah.
can't wait for this. I've been waiting for this.
That's yet to happen too. A movie based on a podcast,
True.
which we could do.
Yeah.
I mean, just like if you loved the podcast, this is the movie. This is the movie version. This is bigger than the podcast.
This
It's
is the
like-
next level.
It's an event.
Right.
You have to come see this.
It's kind of like a graduation.
Yeah. It's like, what?
What?
This is on a big screen, 3D.
Oh yeah, 3D
Yeah.
IMAX.
Yeah. And, I mean, maybe we play ourselves, but maybe also other people play us. Or maybe
That would be good.
like it's, but also maybe it's just this. Maybe the movie is this.
Is this
Is us talking to each other.
right?
It's a podcast, but it's a movie.
But it's a movie because you can. We're here,
yeah,
and it's not just our voices.
right. Yeah. And there is like I always think like how can one thing be 10 things?
Hmm.
Like we're talking, that's one thing,
Right.
but it's also a podcast.
That's another thing.
And if we stream it, it's a stream.
Right.
And if we film it, it's a movie.
It's a movie.
And if we transcribe it, it's a book.
Play or
It's a
book.
play.
Yeah.
It's both.
That there's more to the. Yeah. Exactly.
There's the
both.
book and then there's a play like Cuckoo's Nest.
Right. Right.
And then so it's a book and a play
Yeah.
and it's an album.
And it's an album,
Yeah.
and it's a pod, and this is all within the. It's a podcast.
And it's a podcast.
It's all yeah,
Yeah.
and it's friendship at the end,
And
I
it's
think-
a friendship.
and it's a friendship,
Yeah, and it's a friendship.
which people are like, that's not an art form, or it's not like a, but who's to say?
I mean, a great friendship is like a great piece of art.
Right. Right.
I think that can be an art form.
I think so.
Yeah.
I've met people that I consider friends, and
Mm-hmm.
I think it's artful. It's it's what's the difference between an album and a friendship? Why doesn't that exist?
Right. Exactly.
And
when you think about it, if you had a good friend when you were 5 or 6, you probably got your 10,000 hours in at a very early age of,
Right.
of being a friend.
yeah,
It's like, I'm good at this.
I'm good at this. I came at this at a very young age.
Yeah. Yeah, like I know how to do this now.
Right.
And now, I guess that's why we don't really consider it an art form, but it is.
Yeah.
Because, then, at this age, it's like, I'm great at this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm an old timer at friendship.
Yeah.
Like I took classes. And when I
Mhm.
say classes, I mean you meet different types of people.
Yeah.
You learn different skill sets. You become verse
Mhm.
in a lot of different areas
Yeah.
of friendship.
I learned the hard way.
Me too.
The hard way. Actually going out there and doing it.
Failing at friendships.
Yeah. Failing
Yeah.
and making
Bombing.
new friends. Yeah. You bomb,
You bomb.
lose friendship, you have to make new friends
Right.
when you lose the old ones.
You go through spurts of growth.
Yeah.
Like, wow, I got 5 parties this week.
Wow. Nice. Booking stuff.
Yeah.
Booking friendship stuff.
Going on the road.
going on the road.
seeing my friend in Minneapolis,
Yeah,
you know,
right.
for a weekend.
Yeah.
He's let me stay at his spot.
Calendar's filling up.
Calendars, yeah.
I got a friend phone call at 2.
You ever get burnt out on friendship?
A little bit.
Yep.
Yeah. It's too much.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Sometimes, yeah, exactly.
Mm.
I'm like, I'm gonna take off. I'm gonna have some alone time
Yeah.
just to recover.
Right.
But I'll hit up my friends eventually.
Mm-hmm. Let them know you're going to be disappearing for a couple of months.
What was your worst friendship bomb?
I mean, I've had, I've gone up to people and say, "Will you be my friend?" And they say no.
Right.
They just say no. It's like, okay.
That's always tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I should change up that line.
Maybe that's, yeah.
Yeah.
It could be the way you're saying it.
Will you be my friend?
Will you be my friend?
I mean, to me, it's like,
Straightforward.
straightforward, to the point.
Very quick.
Yeah.
Contrite. Yeah.
And they
It's
might
good.
go no because, like, they don't really know me.
Right.
And they're like, I already have my friends.
Yeah.
I'm all stocked up.
Yeah. Well, there you go. What if,
Yeah.
grievances? Like, hey, I gotta tell you, like this week, my friend couldn't hang out. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah. List of grievances.
List of grievances.
Mm-hmm.
I feel people could relate to that.
Yeah, a list of grievances about friends.
Yeah. Like, hey, I don't know. It hasn't been the same with that guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's going on there?
What's up with that?
What's up with that?
Yeah. That's like, we used to be friends.
Right.
And now, what's going on?
Yeah. Did you grow past me?
Yeah. Because it feels like we don't hang out anymore.
Right.
Feels like you're doing stuff without me. That's okay.
It's okay. I'm happy for you.
Happy for you.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
I just wish that, we could still hang out.
Yeah. Still be friends.
Right.
Friend breakups are hard.
Friend breakups are hard.
You got to break the news.
Someone's got to know.
Someone's got to know.
Someone has to know.
Yeah. If takes two to takes just two friends, one of them has to know.
One of them has to tango?
I guess so. I mean, two for tango.
Two for tango.
I guess it takes two to tango to make friends.
Right.
And then with friend breakups, it's like,
why am I the only person in the tango club?
Yeah, why am I?
Where'd everyone go?
I'm tangoing by myself.
Right.
What happened?
What happened?
Yeah.
Why is this the loneliest salsa dance?
Yeah. I look foolish.
I look foolish.
Yeah.
I'm crying.
I'm crying and saucing. And
I got to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
My dad's calling me.
I got to throw up.
I got to barf.
Yeah. I got that feeling in the stomach when something's bad is happening.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Like a breakup.
Ooh.
That's bad.
I wouldn't wish that upon anybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny that some days I'm just not about it.
Yeah. Some days are just like, nope,
Nope.
not doing it today.
Not doing that.
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
Would do it. Would do it, but
Yeah.
not today.
Not
Definitely
today.
not today.
Not today.
Yeah.
Which could be, I mean, like, if we're not feeling it, we shouldn't force it.
Right.
Like, we could just, like, show up, turn the mics on.
And be like, how about
No.
not?
No.
This one's not. I can already feel it's not. I can already feel this isn't going to be the day.
Yeah. Like and subscribe, but this is not going to, this episode is going to be, we're going to be real.
We're going to be real. And it's just one of those days you wake up and I guess I'm on mic, but I'd rather not.
Rather not.
Rather not.
And, we'll fulfill our obligation
Right.
to record.
I would even go as far as I'd apologize. I'm like,
Yeah.
sorry I'm like this right now, but
Yeah.
I'm not in the mood.
Yeah. What do you think? Try to engage in some audience interaction. What do you think about this?
Yeah.
Send us some questions.
Right.
Like,
Set
what's
up
up?
set up an email,
Yeah.
you know. Email us your questions and we'll answer them.
No promises, but
Yeah,
you know, let's we're not feeling it today.
we're not feeling it.
Nothing's happening, but feel free to email us.
Right.
See what you think about that.
My question to you would be, is that what if we're never feeling it?
Well, maybe
And then
that's
it's that and then it turns into that.
that's the podcast then.
Right.
We're not feeling it.
We're not feeling it.
Not feeling it.
And ironically, we create an entire email account of questions
Yeah.
that we never, and that then we just have I kind of like that. It's like, wow, look at all these questions I've accumulated
Mhm.
that we've accumulated over time.
But we're not going to answer them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just not feeling it.
And the questions are probably pretty good.
Probably.
Some of them, maybe some, yeah.
I would imagine some are like, "What's up? Is everything okay?"
Right. Are you guys like struggling
Yeah.
through something?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about something?
We're just not feeling it.
Will, do you want to talk about something? I mean, there's another one.
Oh, like will you invite me to talk about something
Yeah.
and you want me
Will,
to
do you want to talk about what we were just talking about? Like one of those where it's like
Right.
pre-podcasting?
Oh, like
Before this,
Yeah.
we were talking about roads,
Yeah.
potholes.
Right, we were talking about potholes. Yeah, sometimes I hear that on podcasts where they're like, before this,
I'm like, that's another podcast.
that's another one. So
That's
they were talking before they even started rolling.
Right. Right. What's
And
that? What is that?
What if we record that?
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
like-
pre-pod is that's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's called before this
Before this.
because what you're not hearing is this.
That's right.
The podcast. What you're hearing is the conversation before the podcast.
I think that has some traction there.
Yeah.
Because that does seem like a thematic thing that already exists.
Right.
I've heard that a lot when I listen to pods. They're always like, well, beforehand we were,
Yeah.
or I'll tell you after.
Oh,
I can't let you know right now, but I'll tell you after off mic.
Right. And we hear that.
Yeah. And it's usually something that's, they're like, oh, I don't want to name names or
Right.
the juicy stuff.
Yeah. And now we can name that stuff.
Right.
Like,
Where you're like, Gavin.
right. Gavin.
It was Gavin.
It was Gavin.
It was Gavin.
That person I wouldn't name during the podcast, it was Gavin.
Right. I thought, and then, I thought it was.
Right. Oh,
I thought that's
knew
who it was going to be.
it was Gavin.
Yeah.
I wanted to say on the podcast, but I didn't want to say his name on the podcast.
Right.
Good thing we're talking.
I'm glad that no one's hearing this now,
Yeah. But they are.
but they're hearing it. They know
Right.
they know Gavin.
Yeah.
They know it's Gavin.
They know it's Gavin.
Yeah.
And then maybe another one with Gavin. Gavin comes on the before this podcast and he goes, "Why did you say my name on the I'll tell you after podcast?"
I thought I wasn't going to be discussed
Yeah.
at all. I thought
Right.
this was a secret, but
Well, you were
you weren't on the main podcast.
You weren't on the podcast. You were on
the after.
I'll tell
hour.
you after.
I'll tell you after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we would never say your name on the podcast.
And then
Ever.
like, in the after pod,
Yeah.
it's like, listen, Gavin, I don't want to name names,
Right.
but I'll tell you after this
Mhm.
is over
Yeah.
who told me about what you did.
Right. Yeah. And then you
And
You
then
do. you say
you say Matt.
it was Matt.
It was Matt.
It was Matt. Matt said something.
Right.
And then Gavin's like, "Matt said something? Matt said
He's like,
something?
Matt?
Matt, my best friend Matt said something to you?"
He doesn't even he said that you guys aren't even like you guys are acquaintances.
Yeah. Right.
He told you that? He
Right.
told you something?
Yeah. And like Gavin's like, "I thought that was my best friend. I feel so disillusioned right now."
I don't think I'm going to have to talk to Matt. I don't know if we're
Yeah.
I thought we were something else.
Yeah. Then we grab the mics and we go listen to that. we go listen to the conversation between Gavin and Matt.
Right.
And Gavin knocks on the door and he's like, why?
Why would you tell them?
Yeah.
Because I was brought up on a podcast.
Yeah.
I was brought up on a podcast, and now everyone knows.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. And Matt's like, whoa, I don't know what you're talking.
He's like, yeah.
Gavin's like, no, I know already.
Right. He
Yeah,
gets a
don't
little.
try.
Matt's getting defensive.
Yeah. He's like, podcast. I don't know anything about a podcast.
It's like, what is a podcast? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, and it's like, Matt, everybody knows what a podcast is.
Matt's
we
like,
all have one.
everyone. Yeah. You have one.
Yeah.
He's like, I listen to your podcast.
Yeah, Gavin has a podcast and Matt has a podcast.
Yeah.
And Gavin's like, I heard your podcast this morning.
Yeah.
And Matt's like, whoa.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's like, you put it out this morning. I listened.
Yeah, I'm a subscriber to your podcast.
Right.
And Matt's like, oh my God. I thought no one was listening to my podcast.
Matt's kind of that's tricky because he's like, I'm being like pressed right now,
Right.
but I didn't know I have a subscriber.
Right. Now,
And that's kind of nice.
that's actually kind of cool.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Like, it's nice to know that one of my friends is actually listening to my podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
He's
on
coming
our
at
end,
me right now.
Yeah.
But my numbers are, spiking.
spiking up. And also, from both their perspectives and ours, this is a triple crossover because we're recording this for our podcast.
Yeah.
And it's also their podcast. So all of our subscribers are hearing about each other's podcasts.
It's that's kind of it's smart. I think it helps everyone
Yeah.
a little bit.
To pin podcasters against each other and then promote it on our podcast.
Right.
And then it's like we're getting everybody's subscribers awareness
Right.
to all of our it's a win-win for all of us.
And then it's maybe their friendship falls on the wayside, but
Yeah.
everybody's getting more listening. Is that the goal? I don't know.
Well, that's a good question because how to be different about this is that another thing is that people, maybe it's a podcast where you don't listen.
Right.
It's like not an audio. It's not audio.
Yeah.
Like no one's doing that either.
Because we could very well, I don't know about you, but I can hear you right now.
Yeah, I can hear you too.
It would be interesting to download this
Yeah.
and mute it.
And
It's still a
nothing.
file.
It's still a file, but there's no audio.
That would be interesting to release.
Yeah.
I do find that that would be different.
Because they're
It's like we're talking.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you believe me.
Yeah.
Believe you this.
Right.
I don't know. But
Yeah.
a blank, nothing.
Well, there's got to be people out there that are listening to podcasts and they're going, this is too much noise. Like, I can't hear the sound of my own thoughts. What about a podcast for me where there's nothing and I can think about my day, but
Yeah.
I'm still listening to a podcast.
I'm technically still listening to it.
Yeah. There's got to be so many people that want that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's like I can't work. This podcast is like there's too many voices.
I can't tell you how many times I've been at work, sitting down, listening to something,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I can't do this right now.
Yeah.
And I slammed my AirPods
Yeah.
on the desk,
Right.
and I said, why can't I listen to nothing?
Yeah.
I've had that thought.
It's frustrating.
It's frustrating.
It's frustrating because they don't give you even a moment. They're like always talking.
It's too much.
It's too much talking.
Yeah.
And in the same way, like, there's silent movies and there's audiobooks that you could read, not listen to.
Right.
And this is maybe that's another concept is we can transcribe it into like you can read it
yeah.
while you're not listening. so you can like picture in your mind in
what
the way like
what
a
we're saying.
yeah, like in a book, like
Yeah.
you can't see a book like with you have to use your imagination.
Exactly.
So if you read our podcast while listening to it, you can like imagine what we sound like while we're talking.
I love that. It's
Well-
like not only is this something that we actually spoke
Yeah.
and that actually happened,
Right.
but it's a book now.
Now it's a book.
So if you listen simultaneously to silence,
Mm-hmm.
it's an imagination kind of quest. I like that. You kind of put it together.
Yeah, and it keeps your brain. It's like, it's like
It's like I know they're saying this right now.
I get it.
I can't. I want to know what they sound like.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. What keeps you interested?
Yeah.
It's like, what do they sound like? What are they? What?
It's kind of. Some people would think. I imagine they're like, oh, these guys are trying to pull one over on us.
Yeah.
But I like that we can back it up. Even like what you were saying, sort of with like the audiobook thing. It's like
Yeah.
we literally read a book together. It's like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you don't believe we read The Grapes of Wrath? Like,
Right.
this is a silent audiobook where we actually,
Oh yeah.
we read that book.
We read that book.
Don't believe us? I mean, that's on you.
That's on you.
That's on you.
That's on
We
you.
actually did that. You just can't hear it,
Yeah.
you know?
Okay. That's on you.
Right.
Yeah.
That one, that one's for you.
Ye of
Yeah.
little faith.
Right.
Yeah. Get some faith in your life.
Convincing ain't easy.
That you got that right.
Yeah.
Convincing ain't easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which could be another thing where we talk about people who have like convinced people. It's like, how did you convince people to you're a scientist?
Right.
Like, oh, I have a degree in it. Great.
Great.
Thank you. That's all we needed.
Right. Right.
How did you convince? Oh, you went to school for. Okay. That's convincing.
Right. Right.
That is convincing.
Oh, you're a dentist.
Yeah.
How do we know that? Oh,
Yeah.
you own like a dentist practice. There's chairs.
Gotcha.
Believable.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, there's a waiting room. Yeah. I trust you.
I'm convinced.
I'm convinced. No further questioning.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Okay. And they're like, okay, all right. Quick plug. If you want to plug your dentistry,
Yeah.
go ahead. That's another great thing about the podcast. People come on for the plugs.
Of course.
You
People
don't-
want to plug their.
They want to plug their dental place.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Or shoe store.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
So-
Payless are you?
Yeah. Which Payless? Oh,
Okay,
that
great.
one?
That one?
Great. Be sure to be on the lookout for that one.
Yeah. If you're in that area,
Yeah.
if you need shoes,
Yeah.
do that one.
Yeah. How did you convince people to make you the manager of Payless?
Right.
Oh, you worked your way up. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Very cool.
Okay. You started at retail and then you worked your way up.
Right. Right.
That's fair.
Yeah. You own this. You own the bowling alley. How's that? It's a family business.
Gotcha.
Okay. Has been in the family.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Right. All right.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Nice.
Maybe not. Maybe that's not fine.
Maybe that's bad.
Yeah, maybe like you should let other people run it. When I see like a mom and pop shop, like, is that nepotism?
I'm like, dude, are you qualified?
Are you qualified? I mean, how about a mom and pop and two other people?
How about let's make this family a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
this is. Oh, you're all related. Interesting.
Oh, gross.
Okay. Gross.
Yeah.
Kinda gross.
So I, couldn't work there.
That could be. We could bring in entire families
Yeah.
and tell you what
Mm-hmm.
would be nice if we add a couple people here.
Yeah.
I think it could spice things up and create some different perspectives.
Right. Why can't I be in your family?
Can I join?
Yeah.
How do I join?
How do I join?
Is there a membership
Yeah.
fee?
How about
to
a
be in?
test run?
Yeah,
6 months.
6 months. Try me out as a family member. Can I join?
If I don't prove myself in 6 months, you'll never hear from me again.
Right.
But let me in.
Let me in.
Let me hang out.
Right.
You know?
Can I come over?
Yeah. Spend some holidays,
Yeah.
graduations, birthdays, just hanging out, watching a movie.
I'll use the guest room. I'll
Yeah.
be clean.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
You know.
yeah,
You know. Try me out.
yeah.
I'm looking. It's a. You know. I'm new at this.
I'm new.
I'm
yeah,
new at this,
right.
but I
Yeah.
I need the experience. I
I
need the family experience.
I can't afford to let this one fail.
Right.
Yeah, the first one wasn't doing. Like it. We're past it. I can't.
I can't reverse that.
Yeah, I can't reverse that. It's not working.
Right.
But this means so much to me.
I tell you this, I'm ready. I think I'm finally ready.
Yeah.
I've interviewed enough times,
Mm-hmm.
and when I saw this advertisement, I said, this is the family
Yeah.
that I want, that I want to be in.
I don't want to start my own.
Yeah.
I want to be in yours.
Because when you think about it, I guess like people who start families, they're kind of entrepreneurs in a way.
In a big way, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
It's like
starting.
do it yourself.
Right. Like, let's start from the scratch.
Right. I'm not trying to join a company.
Right.
I'm my own. We're the company.
Yeah.
We're partners.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
The original entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Hey, why not?
Hey, why not? Like the thing about, like, they're probably at home, like, I started in a family.
Right.
Why not me?
Right.
Why not I start my own family?
Yeah.
In the same way that people start their own business.
And sadly, a lot of businesses fail, a lot of families fail,
Sure. Yeah. Most do.
Most do.
Most do.
More than 50%, I think, of families or marriages.
I think so.
Yeah.
But unlike businesses, when a family dissolves, it becomes two different families.
Right. When
Like
a
a
business
worm.
dissolves. Yeah. It doesn't become two businesses.
Probably not, right?
Right.
Like when Kmart closed, it didn't become K and Mart.
Right.
It didn't split off like that.
That's right. When Blockbuster closed, it wasn't Block and Buster.
right. Although those sound like fun.
I would go to them.
I would go to Buster
I would go to Buster.
and Block.
Block? Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see Block.
But when a family, like you cut a worm in half and then it's like it becomes two worms.
Right.
And like a family becomes two different. It's like they become stronger.
Right.
Two.
Sometimes it's best
Wow.
when families split up. Never best when businesses split up.
No, that's always like.
Always.
Now we just don't have a business.
Yeah, we're making less money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now what?
It does bring the idea of, that's the thing about podcasts. A lot of podcasts, very specific topics.
Yeah.
I wonder, is there room for, a podcast about like what's the difference between a family and a business?
Yeah.
That is what it is.
Right.
Like, maybe that's the thing.
And maybe like, how can we make your family into a business?
Right.
Like there's so many family businesses. You're just a family.
What separates you?
Yeah.
How can this be a business?
Right. What are your strengths? And one of them might say, I like lemonade.
Right.
And they're like, how can we make this into a lemonade store?
Right.
It's like, okay, this kid knows how to make lemonade. The parents have the money
Right.
to invest. The other kid can learn.
He's trainable.
Yeah, trainable. And then it's like, how can we make this into the lemon lemonades?
Yeah. How can we make that? Because that sounds like they all have. When you have an entire family with skill sets,
Mm-hmm.
everybody can participate.
Yeah.
No one's really like. It sounds like a success. Like
Yeah.
one of the kids isn't like, oh, he's on drugs. I don't know if
Oh, yeah.
he's gonna be a problem.
Right. But maybe that's his strength.
Maybe he's really good at that.
Maybe it's like, okay, he's on drugs, but, he's also really good on the phone.
Right.
Put him on the
Right.
phone.
Put him on the phone.
Yeah.
We're a call center.
Yeah, well, there's a call center.
We're the
here.
call. Yeah.
Yeah.
The callers.
The callers. It's like, great, we got a call center going.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
It's like,
Bring
wow,
us-
we were concerned, but we just turned him into a strength.
Yeah, now it's bringing us closer together.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
We just fixed the family.
He's great on the phone.
Great on the phone.
Hello, how are you doing?
Yeah.
He's friendly.
You on the phone with him, you don't want to hang up.
Right.
You just want
Right.
to stay there.
Yeah.
It's like, this is great. I don't know who this is, but I don't want to hang up this phone.
Yeah. I'll buy it.
Yeah.
I'll buy what you're selling. Can we talk?
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
I would like to be friends with you now.
Yeah.
You convinced me to buy, you know, insurance.
Right.
But I'm interested in you as a person. That you seem nice.
Yeah. Another possible idea.
Oh yeah.
Like, bring in your favorite picture. And it's like, you look great in this. What was going on that day?
Right, right.
What was going on that day in that picture?
You have a spice of life that I haven't seen in a while in this.
Yeah.
What? An occasion?
Yeah.
Was
What
this
was-
an occasion?
What was going on in your brain
Yeah.
during that picture?
Hey, who's that in the background?
Who's that?
Who is that?
Yeah. Hey, who's that?
Who's that? Yeah, who's
Yeah.
that?
There's some people walking. Who's that?
You know him?
You know them? Who's that?
Right. Whoa. Didn't know that you were ever there.
Right.
I think that's Coney Island. You went there. Wow.
And then maybe they go, I don't know that person. And they're like, we do. They come in.
Right.
We bring
oh
them
my
in.
gosh.
We bring them in. What were you doing that day?
Yeah. Did you know them?
Yeah. Did you know them?
Because you're in the back.
You're in the back.
We know you.
We
We know
found
both
you.
of you. We find photos where we know multiple people who don't know each other.
Right. We put it up on our media. We're like, well, this is you in the background. They
Right.
call in, and then we surprise the people. And
With
we
the
say-
person.
Yeah. And they're like, what were you doing that day? Playing Frisbee.
Right.
Playing Ultimate Frisbee in the background.
Right.
And then,
Did you know that about them? No, I didn't.
right.
I just learned something about that.
Yeah.
What's your name? Bringing people together.
Yeah. Maybe new friendships forming.
Right.
It's like, wow, you've been in my life for so long as the background of this picture.
Right.
And now I'm finally meeting you.
It's kind of like a long lost friendship kind of thing.
Yeah. Instead of like, this is your life, it's like, this could have been your life
Right.
if you turned around.
Yeah.
If you just turned around and talked to them.
But instead they live in a photograph
Yeah.
and they're playing frisbee.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, I don't know you, but you look great.
You look great.
You look great.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You haven't aged a day since that photo.
You look the same.
You look the same.
Is that the same shirt?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same shirt.
Right.
Yeah.
I love this shirt.
Thanks. Thanks.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, okay, I guess there's no chemistry here.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe it's best to leave it in photo form.
Right. Yeah. Okay. It didn't work
Sometimes
out.
maybe they don't get along.
Yeah. And it's
You
like,
know?
okay, that's fine.
Right.
We just wanted to see what would happen.
We were curious. We knew that you were in a photo together.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't sure if the meeting would be what it would be.
Right.
We didn't know.
And now that we've seen, it's enough.
It's enough.
Yeah.
You can go your separate ways.
Right. You can go.
Yeah.
But thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I like this feels like a good angle
Yeah.
cuz calling up someone, "Hey, we're doing another episode. I
Yeah.
don't know if you know about this, but
Mm-hmm.
you got any photos?"
Right. How many photos are there
Yeah.
in the country?
That's a
I mean, take
Infinite.
a guess. Probably an infinite number.
a billion?
A billion photos.
Maybe
a-
a billion?
So that's, I mean, come on. It's a billion.
Talk about something that's
episodes.
sustainable idea.
That's a lot of episodes.
It's a lot of episodes.
Because I think we should get 100 in the can before we even release.
Right.
We should get
Have
100.
a backlog.
Yeah, we want to have a backlog.
Right.
Because we want to take vacations and stuff.
Right. We want to have time off.
Right. So we need something that you can get 100 in the can easy.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, we there. We don't have to think about it, and then we could just go at our own pace.
The job kind of does itself at that point.
Right.
It's like,
Then
I've been on vacation for 3 years. We still got 50
we still got 50
back.
because there's that many photographs.
It's like, oh, this. I think I've seen this photograph before. Have we
Yeah.
done this episode?
Maybe, but
You
there's
know.
other people in the background.
There's other people.
So we could do multiple episodes on just one photograph.
Yeah. Same person that we have in. It's like repeat guest.
Right.
New person coming in.
Yeah.
This guy was playing bocce ball
Right.
in the background.
Different person.
Different guy.
Totally different. And they're like, oh, okay. I guess there's a lot going on in this photo.
Right.
And it was like, what was going on with you that day? I was like, it's like something not interesting.
Right.
So we're like, okay, that's okay.
That's fine. That's fine.
Not every episode has to be interesting.
Yes.
I think we should commit to that.
I think sometimes it can be. Oh yeah, like it was Tuesday. I was still there. I was still at the beach.
Yeah.
I was about to leave.
Right.
I was tired.
Mm-hmm.
Finishing up a game.
Mm-hmm.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
That
Right.
I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I think that's fine to do.
And then maybe a tragic episode where it's like, remember this person? He drowned.
Yeah.
He went into the ocean that day and he drowned.
We open the door, no one comes in.
Right. And it's like,
Did you ever meet him?
right. Here's his kid. The kid came.
The kid came in.
The kid came in. This is a touching tribute to his dad.
Right.
What was going on that once you hear the news, and meanwhile the person in the photograph is like,
It's like, I shouldn't have
don't
taken this
know.
photo.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to be here for this.
I don't want to be here.
Yeah,
I don't know if I want to be here.
I don't want to be here.
I don't want to be
Could
here.
be, yeah, that would be a great,
You see that guy in the ocean?
yeah,
This is his son.
right.
I don't want to be here. Why are you doing this to me?
I want to leave.
I want to leave right
I want
now.
to leave, and it's like, okay,
Fine. Short ep.
yeah,
It's a short one, maybe.
yeah, because
We thought that maybe we misread this.
Yeah.
This was a bad idea.
hey, we're sorry.
Sorry.
We know when we're wrong,
Yeah.
and we will apologize.
And we will. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
We're sorry.
I mean, we still have the kid here. We can
Yeah.
still talk to the
We
kid.
talked to him.
Yeah, and you can go.
You can. It probably looks bad on you. It feels a little disrespectful for you to leave.
A little bit.
I mean, we brought this kid's son in.
Yeah.
You're just gonna walk out on him.
I'm just going to walk.
Seems a little
Here-
harsh.
Hear his story
Yeah.
before you leave.
Do you
So,
want to? Yeah.
Where were you the day you heard that your dad drowned?
Right.
And the kid's like, I was there at the beach. I saw it happen.
He's like, I'm in the photo.
I'm in the phone.
It's kind of a dual
yeah.
episode.
Right. And it's like, blessing in disguise. We actually do have somebody who was in the photo.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
This is actually the same. This is the same podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he actually was. Timmy was in the photo.
Right. And you were getting your photo taken while someone was drowning or about to drown,
Yeah.
like minutes away from
I'm not
drowning.
saying that's on you, but it is a
No.
detail.
No, but I mean, like, how about gratitude?
How about a little bit?
How about a little gratitude of like, I was having a great day, feeling good, taking a photo of myself. I got to enjoy the rest of that beach day. But in the background, someone was having the worst day of their life.
Right. And I mean, that's, that seems thematically interesting with photographs. Like sometimes something really nice is happening in a photo,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe something not so nice is happening in a photo. There can be different moods
Yeah.
in photographs.
But- That made me think of something, though, because,
Mhm.
what would be an interesting interview would be the guy who drowned. And that gave me another good idea for a podcast. But this one's kind of hard
Okay.
because it's not really possible.
Okay.
But it would be called How'd You Die?
Maybe we get a medium in.
Right.
Why isn't that? Why can't we make that happen?
We
make
can't-
that happen.
We should be able to make it happen.
yeah. Yeah.
And we interview people who died.
How do you die?
And how'd you die?
How'd you die?
How'd it feel when you walked into the ocean and you're like, oh no, it's happening?
Right.
And it's
Right.
like, oh, geez, I went too far.
I shouldn't have done that.
I shouldn't have done that.
When you're skydiving and the chute doesn't pull,
Right.
what was your first what was the first thing you felt like?
Right.
I'm hurling towards the earth.
Right.
Uh oh. Yeah, what was
Yeah.
the first sound
Right.
you made? Uh-oh.
Maybe that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or shark or bear.
Yeah.
Or something. It's like, what? This is what?
What? You got
This?
ate? You got ate by a bear?
What? How did this happen? What?
Right. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
inquisitive too. Like what?
Like
Really?
Yeah. Really? This?
Because sometimes I feel like podcast hosts sometimes it's not that it's annoying, but it's a little uppity. Like what?
Yeah.
Really?
What?
Like yeah. What?
Huh?
Like how did you die? What?
What?
Like
Oh, like they don't even know that they're dead. What?
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 Right. Oh yeah. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe they don't know.
Maybe they don't know. Like sometimes, because we don't really know how the afterlife works yet,
Right.
and maybe people who are dead don't know that they're dead. And they're like, and we're breaking the news, to
And they're
them.
like, "This is live. You're
yeah,
on.
you're being live streamed.
You're being live streamed.
Yeah, people are
What?
watching this. What? What? I'm dead?
Everyone's hearing this.
Yeah. And he's like, I went out to the ocean. I was having a good time, and oh my god,
It comes to them.
it's like, oh my god, I went too far. I
Right.
went too
I
far
shouldn't
into
have.
the water.
I knew that it was too deep.
Yeah. And now I'm here,
Right.
dead. And I'm on a podcast.
And I'm on a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm here. I'm dead. I'm on a podcast.
I'm on a podcast.
What?
Weird.
Yeah.
But then he's like, nobody wanted to talk to me before this.
Right. And then it starts coming together.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, okay. I think this is making more sense why no one wanted to talk to me
yeah.
about this.
Because I was a ghost.
Right. Right.
So now all of a sudden there's some interest in me.
Yeah. Maybe it's better. Maybe this is better.
Yeah.
But I think people are interested now.
Yeah.
Now that I'm dead.
Yeah. Now all of a sudden people are knocking on my door.
Yeah.
They want to.
People are like,
Talk to me.
can you do my podcast?
Yeah.
That's the other thing, if we're interviewing dead people,
Right.
are people gonna steal? Sometimes I get afraid people stealing ideas. They're like, oh, that's good. Like,
Yeah.
let's get that good dead guy on my podcast.
Yeah. Which I would hate.
Right. I'm like, we kind of did that. I don't want to be weird, but like we kind of interviewed him.
Yeah.
Then now, I don't know. I know you have a different chemistry, but
You didn't think to interview dead people before us.
right.
We were doing that first.
Yeah. And
But-
people know your podcast more than ours, so
Yeah.
you're going to get credit, sort
Yeah.
of.
It's not fair.
Yeah.
But it's also interesting when you mentioned stealing, that gave me another idea where it's like, what if we do steal?
Podcast ideas.
Yeah, like what if
Yeah.
we do every other podcast idea that happened? Like
Yeah.
we steal people's podcast ideas.
That's pretty fun as
And-
as an idea.
Yeah.
For, like, that's the whole concept. Yeah.
Every episode is somebody else's idea
Right.
for a podcast.
I see.
Yeah,
So it's not existing podcasts, or it is.
it is.
It's stuff that already exists.
It's stuff
Yeah.
that already exists and we're stealing the ideas.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is how I built this.
Right.
But it's like, this is all of it. And people are like, isn't there already a podcast?
And we're very open about it.
Yeah,
right.
we're stealing it.
Yeah, exactly. We're admitting it.
Yeah,
We're like, yeah, this is stolen.
this is a stolen idea.
Right.
Yeah.
Get on. If you want to get on board, you can get on board. If you don't want to, that's fine. But
Yeah.
just so you know,
Yeah.
this is not our idea.
Yeah.
We heard this.
And is it stealing if you announce it?
I don't think so.
I don't think.
I think it's kind of respected
Yeah.
at that point. I think people don't respect stealers when they're like, this hasn't been done.
Right. Yeah. It's almost like if you remake a movie, but you say it's a remake. It's like this is
Exactly.
stolen, but we're
Doing it
remaking
again.
We're just doing it again.
Right.
So we're being open about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're taking the same story and we're just doing our version of it.
And I don't think there's anything. I really don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I don't think so.
I think people would actually they might like it better than the original.
They might.
Like they kind of did it better.
Yeah. Some remakes are better.
Right. Right.
Can't fault us for that we're doing it better.
Exactly.
Sorry.
And I mean, a lot of stuff gets parodied.
That's true too. There's a lot of parodies out there.
I mean, people could even parody our. I wouldn't. I wouldn't have any issue with that.
I wouldn't. And honestly, who better to do that than us? To do a parody of our own podcast.
We're stealing our own. We steal our own content.
Well, who knows us better than us?
No one.
So why? It's about time that we made a comment on our own.
It's
product.
about time.
Yeah. It's about time.
It's about time.
About time. Yeah.
It's about time that we do that. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, look, we've gone through every podcast. Now let's talk about ours.
Right.
We're gonna parody our own.
Right.
Yeah.
We're at the end of the barrel. I think we did it. I think we did it all.
Yeah.
Now it's time for ours.
That, like, I think about impressionists, and they make so much money doing impressions. But who could make more money would be the actual person.
Right.
Doing themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, I would love to see Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
Be like, I feel like he would be able to do the voice really well.
He could probably book himself a lot of dates.
Yeah.
Doing the Christopher Walken voice.
Absolutely.
And I'm on a tour doing my own voice.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm making money as me.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, people are like, wow, that really sounds like Will.
Right.
It's like, it's me.
It's me. We're doing our own voices.
Yeah.
And doing a podcast in the style of our own podcast.
Right.
So
I've been working on my voice at home.
What do you think?
I'm like, I think I got this now. I think it sounds like me.
Yeah.
I
think this is it.
I think that, yeah.
Yeah. And people are like, wow, this is like listening to the real thing.
Right.
And it is.
And it kind of, it is.
It is, but it's also our version of it.
Right. You're like, I see it.
Yeah.
Then it gets into the territory of like, oh my God, is that them?
Ooh, yeah. Is that them?
Is that them? If it's audio?
Yeah.
Is that them?
Is it?
Is it them?
Or is it people we're hiring
Exactly.
to sound like us?
Exactly.
Which
we
we
find
could
really
do.
good impressionists.
Yeah, we find like people who sound like us.
Right.
To do the podcast. We outsource it.
We don't even do the podcast anymore. We outsource it.
We outsource our own podcast.
Right.
And be like, we've done so well. Now we're going to let other people be us. We'll pay them.
Right.
I think that's the smartest thing to do.
I love the idea of like, listen, I'm going on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
We've done this. We're known.
Yeah.
You just be me.
Just be me. Talk about this.
Yep.
Talk about these things.
If you have any questions, email me by tomorrow. I'm going to be out after that. But,
right.
But mostly just talk about that.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we should probably be focusing on other things.
Yeah.
The podcast is just becoming all consuming.
Right.
And we should focus on other endeavors. But keep it going.
Right.
Yeah.
Just pass the baton.
Yeah.
Right. It's like a things podcasts end. Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy.
Sometimes it's like, hey everyone, we're still really good friends. It's not, but podcast is over now. No more episodes.
Right.
And that's crazy.
It's nothing bad.
Right.
It's just over.
It's just over. Yeah.
Yeah.
There wasn't a falling out.
No.
We're busy on different things.
We're pursuing other creative endeavors.
Yes.
Exactly.
So
there's other things that we want to do. And as it turns out, it's two different podcasts.
Yeah.
It's two.
That's what it turns out.
We actually wanted to go on our solo podcast, much like the Beatles.
Right. Solo careers afterwards.
Yeah, because when you think about it, when the Beatles split up, they didn't do they continued music.
Right.
Solo-y.
Yes.
So for us, it would be the same thing. We're continuing podcasting, but as a solo.
Right.
We're
Right.
going solo.
People are like, I remember that. I remember when they were a band,
Yeah.
and I liked that.
Right.
And now, it's nice to listen to them. They can also do their own thing well, too.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. And now instead of two people talking, it's one person talking
Exactly.
to themselves.
Yeah.
And there's two people, but as it turns out, maybe if you sync them at the same time, it sounds
It's a
like we're
conversation.
yeah, it's a conversation. We're
Yeah.
talking to each other.
Kind of like when you play a record backwards. Sometimes it would say something. I think there were
Right.
like hidden messages.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that could be the hidden message where it's like, little do you know, it's sync it up, and they're talking about their solo careers
Right.
and how they're
exactly.
not going to do that anymore.
And sometimes like people are getting tripped up if they're listening to one because it sounds like they're answering a question that isn't there,
Right.
or they're asking a question.
They're
and
like, did
getting
these
no
people go
response.
crazy because they're not talking together anymore
Right.
because they have their own podcast? Like, no, it's, put it together, guys.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Where you made the mistake was you picked a side, and you weren't listening to the other podcast.
That's right.
That's where you went wrong.
Where you went wrong is you thought it was a battle versus they're still on the same team,
Right. Exactly.
just different spaces.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And now it's just we doubled our content.
Exactly.
Now it's more content.
Now it's more content
Right.
because there's 3 podcasts technically then.
Now there's 3.
Yeah.
There's the 2 solos and then the combined effort.
Right. It's like, oh, you thought that one podcast was a lot of content. How
Yeah.
about we break up and it's 3?
How about that?
How about that?
Yeah. And now you're like, wow.
You're like, let's break up
Yeah.
and create more content.
And I bet some of these podcasters where it's just one person, they're like, I wish I thought of that.
Yeah.
I wish I thought of that. Now I got no one. I can't do that by myself.
I missed the boat.
Yeah.
They missed the boat on that.
They really did.
They're like, well, I should have had like 3 people on my podcast. We all break up.
Yeah.
And then it's like 8 podcasts or
That's
something.
like 8 podcasts.
That's like, yeah,
yeah.
that's a lot.
Yeah. The more people you have on a podcast, the more, and the breakup, and then you multiply. There's just like that makes you think like how many podcasts could you actually make out of one podcast?
Yeah. Like, let's say we invite 20 people,
Right.
get them all in a room.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody has a mic.
That's the start of the podcast.
Hey, this isn't working out.
This is too many.
Everybody does a solo career.
This is too many people in one room. This is awful.
This is way too many people.
20 people?
We're all talking over each other.
Yeah. We're
A
shooting for
20
the
person regular podcast.
We shot for the moon. Let's
Yeah.
dial it back a few and let's split it up into 10
It's
10
two,
and 10.
It's 10 podcasts. It's 2 people.
It's 2
on
people.
each.
A 10 podcasts. But what they don't know. No, go ahead.
What don't they know?
They don't know that they all sync up, so like it's
Exactly.
actually 40 podcasts.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they're like, hey, we're all friends.
Right.
Let's make this more interesting.
Right.
Everybody record your own. It's like 40 podcasts.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Is it less?
It
If everybody does their own?
might be a little less.
Might be a little less.
I guess it's less. But you know,
Each podcast would sound insane, though, because there would be long periods of silence
yes.
followed by, because it all syncs up.
Yeah.
Some people aren't talking for a while. Some people are talking a lot,
right. You're
you know?
just hearing the fragments of conversations.
Right.
I also like this idea of 20 people in a room where I just thought every week we add a person to the podcast.
Nice.
And just like every week a new person is a co-host.
I love that.
and it's like we can get up to 500 people.
Episode 500.
Yeah.
It's 500 microphones
Yeah.
plugged into a sound recorder.
Right. And it's like, well, this is the 500th anniversary and also the 500th co-host
Yeah,
of the podcast.
that's insane.
That's a lot.
Do you mean every episode you add? It's like, oh, this is the episode 4. Now it's 4 people.
Right.
Now it's 5,
Exactly.
all the way up.
Yeah. And we keep the room the same size. And we just like, we keep piling people into the podcast room.
Now, is there a physical point where people can't fit?
There's always that risk. But if we can come up with creative ways to keep people in the podcast room,
Squeeze them
because I
in.
just want the picture,
Right.
that photo opportunity of all of us in the room.
Where it's like, oh, episode 40 was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And that's a big cast photo.
Right.
Right.
And we all got microphones and like squashed on top of each other. And we put that on Instagram and they're like, guess what we got coming up?
Guess what?
Yeah.
Tag 40 people.
Tag 40 people you love. 'Cause
Yeah.
we're up to 40 co-hosts on this podcast.
We do an episode a day.
We do it. Yeah, we do an episode.
One a day.
We do one a day.
Yep.
At the end of the year, we have
365 people in a room.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
all podcasting at
Right.
the same time. And we're all talking over each other. Like, so what? Remember high school?
Remember? Yeah.
Yeah. Just
I didn't go to high school with you. 30 people are like, we didn't
yeah,
go there.
Yeah.
But 335 people in the room went to our high school.
Right.
Most people
did.
Most people went to the high school with us.
But we're hearing, I didn't go. I didn't go. And then like one person in the back, we went to the same high school.
We went there.
What?
Yeah.
Me? What? So, remember me? Yeah, kind of. Hi.
I kind of remember you.
Yeah. Why are we talking about a high school I didn't go to? Shh.
Yeah. Shh.
We can tell people to shush.
Yeah. When it gets that big,
Yeah.
I think you kind of need to do a little crowd control
Yeah.
on your own podcast.
Right.
When you have that many people in a room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to shush. It's like shh, we're trying to.
I didn't go there. Shh.
Yeah.
We went there.
Right. We went there and we're trying to have this. That's what this podcast's about today.
We want to talk about Mrs. Harris, the gym teacher.
Yeah. That's what's
I know
happening.
you don't remember, but
Yeah. We can't get all on the same page. There's 365 people in here.
there's no way to have a cohesive conversation at this point.
Yeah, we just got to do the best we can.
At that point, you might need to have like a little bit of an agenda coming in. Like,
Right.
and I'm not even talking about like, oh, I want to ask these 30 people this. Like, kind of like generalized, like, just so everyone knows. This is maybe the pre part of the podcast. Maybe that's recorded too.
Right.
We talked about this earlier,
Mhm.
but hey, we're gonna talk about high school for a bit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if you feel alienated.
Right.
We'll follow it up with something that everybody can get on board with. But there's a lot of people who went to my high school in here.
Right. Yeah. So that's just the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. We have to go that route.
That's right.
Okay. And this is, there'll be other episodes.
You're gonna be here next week. We're just gonna add another.
one more person.
It's not gonna get better.
No.
This is only gonna be more disorganized
Right.
as we go.
But this is the premise of the podcast, and we're sticking to it.
Yeah.
We have to commit to this premise that we came 365 days ago.
Right. Because that's the rule of podcasting. From what I can tell, is like you have to. This was the idea. We can't change anything.
Yeah. Commit or quit.
Commit or quit. Yeah.
So we're going to commit.
Yeah.
And maybe that's a Guinness Book of World Records of most people podcasting at the same time.
That's a good point.
I don't think that's a world record yet.
I don't think that's a world record yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's any podcasting world records at all that we could conquer.
That we could break.
Yeah.
Maybe that could be. Yeah. It's like, oh, that hasn't been done.
Right.
I can do that.
Right. We
You
can
know.
we can do that.
We can do that.
We can podcast from a helicopter.
Right.
You know, that's a thing.
I'm sure we could rent one
Rent a helicopter.
and be like, hey, we just have, it'd be like an hour. It's fine.
Right.
Right. Can you just drive around?
Yeah.
Just drive around the sky for a bit.
We'll just be
back here.
Podcasting back here. I think that's how helicopters work.
Yeah.
Do we really need those?
Do we really need those? Yeah. I don't think
no.
so.
I would say no.
Helicopters are mostly to like look at highways,
Yeah.
traffic copters.
Yeah, I don't think we need that.
Yeah. Jungle expeditions.
No.
Oh, look at that view. It's beautiful.
Right, yeah.
Do we need that?
I don't think we do.
I don't think we need that.
Let's get rid of them.
I like that. This is a good idea. Let's get rid of it. Who needs that?
We go over things that we can get rid of, and then every episode is a new thing that we can get rid of.
Right.
Yeah. Let's get rid of it.
Yeah.
We don't need it.
I don't think people use helicopters.
Get rid of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're necessary.
Seems kind of like a waste of time and money.
Yeah,
Where we're building helicopters.
right. You know what else? Pencils.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Why use a pencil when you can use a pen?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I
you can
mean,
erase it.
so you can erase it. Yeah.
But it's like, what are you writing? that
scribble.
You can't cross out.
Right.
Just cross it out.
That's completely, yeah. That's kind of ignoring the idea of like, I don't need that. Cross it out.
Yeah. How much wood are we giving back by not making pencils anymore?
This is a good point.
Get rid of pencils.
We're cutting down trees, so that we can write things.
Mm-hmm.
But pens, you don't have to cut down anything.
What if we interviewed a tree? And
How about that?
And the tree was like, "Why'd you cut me down?" And we're like, "Oh, we needed writing utensils." And he's like, "You don't have pens?"
Right.
And then we're like, and it's like, "Oh, so you needed to be a little less inconvenienced, and I had to die for that." And we're like,
we kind of
okay.
learned a lesson
Wow.
at the end of the episode. We're like, wow,
Yeah. Wow.
that was tough to hear, but great point.
Great point.
Great point.
Great point. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for
coming.
Can I get your autograph? Here's
Yeah.
a pen.
Here's a pen. And then the tree's like, "I see what you did there.
That's an olive branch,
I like you. I like how you did that."
you know?
Yeah.
That's trying to relate to this redwood.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, there could be different types of trees.
Sure. Yeah.
You
Tons
know?
of trees.
Tons of types.
Yeah.
All kind of oak. We can have an oak episode.
Palm
Palm
tree, peach,
tree,
apple,
dogwood,
dogwood, elm,
elm.
birch. Did you say birch?
Not yet.
Birch.
Birch tree. Yeah.
Yeah.
The birch tree episode.
The birch tree.
Yeah.
You know our next guest from Shade.
Please welcome.
Birch tree.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, have you ever noticed that when you sit under me,
Yeah.
you know, maybe I need space,
Yeah. Right.
you know?
Yeah. Maybe you didn't. Did you ask
Did you ask if
to
you could
sit?
sit
Yeah.
in the shade?
Right. Did you ask that? Because it's kind of
Kind of presumptuous to
presumptuous.
to use my shade.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. How about backing off?
Treevances.
Treevances.
This could be tree grievances.
Yeah. What's your
know.
treevance?
What's your treevance?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, just because I'm a palm tree on the beach, you know, swaying in the wind,
Yeah.
you know, doesn't mean that you have to, I don't know, feel like I'm associated with dance culture.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
I'm tropical, but I'm
Yeah.
not, you know. I'm my own person.
Yeah. Please don't project things onto me.
Right.
Yeah. Don't.
Don't
Yeah.
do that.
Don't do that.
I can see a crossover. I mean,
Yeah.
at a certain point, we just start adding trees.
Right. Just
So the-
like
Hey, we got 80 people in the room.
right. Yeah.
About a tree.
Right. Yeah. In addition to having
Yeah,
multiple
objects.
podcasts. Yeah. Yeah. Some of our podcasters that we add don't have to be people.
Right.
Now it's a fire hydrant.
Yeah.
Our
Truly.
Next podcaster is a fire hydrant.
Right.
Our next podcaster is a book.
Interview a book.
Interview a book. So how did it all start? Which is another great title.
Oh
How
my
did it all
gosh.
start?
How did it all start?
How did it all start?
I love a good podcast that's like, so how do you get into this?
How'd you get into
How do you
this?
get into that? Like,
Yeah, but
I want to know where you're from. Like,
yeah, right.
That's that stuff. That's a good podcast.
But ask that to a book.
Right.
How'd you get into this?
How do you? Yeah.
Where'd you get started?
Right.
Yeah.
What inspired you to, you know?
I spent a few years in Barnes and Noble, and then that was 1980, and then I got sold to a used bookstore. Spent a few years there,
Yeah.
and then I got sold again. It's like, wow, that's quite a journey.
That's
Yeah,
grinded it out.
kept going.
Kept going.
You kept going.
Persevered.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you didn't give up.
And then I, finally got bought at a used bookstore,
Right, finally.
Now
Now I'm here.
I'm here.
I get read.
I get read on the regular. Yeah.
I would imagine if I
I've
was
been
a book-
highlighted.
Yeah, that I think if I were a book, the goal would be library,
That's you kind of made it at that point.
because you get read all the time.
You get read all the time. You get to go. You get to travel.
You get to travel.
Rented out. Brought back.
Yeah,
You're like, oh, I was gone for where's Gary been?
yeah,
Oh, he's been in town for 2 weeks.
right.
Got fully read.
He gets in the park and different places.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Whereas if you're a book that's been bought by somebody, you get read one time,
And then
and
you're
then you're on the shelf.
right.
That sucks.
Library books that never get returned. Is that kind of like they're getting kidnapped?
That I
Little
guess that
bit.
right. That's
They're
probably
kinda
like
kidnapped.
They're getting kidnapped. They're like, no, this was only supposed to be for a month.
Right.
What
Where-
are you doing?
What are you doing? I'm supposed
Yeah.
to be returned at this point.
Right. And it's like, oh no, they can't find me. I'm underneath the couch.
Right. Right. They're trying to
Yeah.
return me.
Library sending notices.
Right.
Where's that book?
Where's that book?
Guy's like, I don't know.
Those are like library police are out trying to
Yeah.
find the book.
Trying to find the book. And the person who rented it is like, look, I would return it if I knew where it was.
They're like, I kidnapped this person. I lost them.
yeah.
I
It's
don't know
just-
where they are.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Wish I did.
And it's still my fault, I suppose.
I
But
blame myself.
I blame it. Yeah. And that's one of the perils of being a book. When you get lost, you can't notify people that you're lost.
Yeah.
They're like, you can't hear me. I'm under here.
Right. I'm under here.
No one will ever know.
Right. If only this book, the knowledge that contains inside myself, could tell me how I could speak.
That's tragic.
But I'm
When you think
limited
about it.
to the knowledge within Moby Dick,
Right.
which doesn't help me in this situation.
Right. Right. Being limited to Moby Dick knowledge
Yeah.
when you're trying to be returned
Right.
is kind of, it's like, well, if I could communicate, it would be about like, I'm in a whale's stomach,
yeah.
aka let me go home.
Right.
Doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't.
Translate.
Yeah.
A book like, I don't know if Taken
Taken
was a book
maybe
about somebody being kidnapped.
right, a kidnapping book.
Yeah.
And then, but if Taken were a book, then it'd be like, oh, I know how to get me out of this. I'll hurt a bunch of people
Right.
in crazy ways
Right.
because I'm a CIA agent. It's like, no book, you're not.
You're not a CIA agent. You're a book.
You're a book.
You're trying to go back to the library.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be like the toys in Toy Story, like, but with books,
Right.
where it's like the books think they're book. The book doesn't know it's a book. It's like, no,
That's
you're
right.
You're a book.
You're a book.
You're not the person in your book. You're a book.
You're a book. You come to life at night when no one's around.
Right. Yeah.
And that you all kind of walk the same,
Side to
side to side.
Yeah. And you can't really do anything because you have no hands.
Yeah.
You can just kind of topple over.
Like there's no Buzz Lightyear or
No.
it's a lot of just falling over
Yeah.
and being like, oh,
Right.
thought this was on the shelf. That's
Yeah.
weird. Back.
Right.
be like a pretty watered down Toy Story.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But eventually Pixar should do stuff
They
like
should do that.
where it's like everything coming to life.
Everything.
It's like Pixar shoes,
Shoes are, yeah.
Pixar shoes.
Pixar's shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoes. That'd be another podcast idea that I think would be good. Would call movie pitch.
Hey, yeah.
Movie pitch. And it's
Movie
like we
pitch.
don't want to write these movies. We really don't want to commit the time and the effort to write them, but we have a lot of movie ideas.
Right.
It's a movie pitch.
Yeah. Indiana Jones. Instead of instead of that giant ball that he's running from
Mm-hmm.
underground, it's actually just a big bubble
It's
that
a-
pops,
Yeah.
Hey, Miramax,
Mm-hmm.
maybe do that. Maybe.
Do that.
Maybe do that.
Indiana Jones and the Bubbles.
And the bubbles.
And the Bubbles.
The Temple of Bubbles.
The Temple of Bubbles. And
Right.
It's like there's a lot of bubbles in here.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Same stakes,
Right.
you know.
And there's an evil guy blowing them,
Right.
but he can't see him. Indiana Jones can't see him, but he's blowing bubbles.
He's blowing bubbles in the
And
corner.
Indiana Jones is like, where are all these bubbles coming from?
So yeah. He doesn't know the source of it.
Right. But there's one evil guy that is blowing into it.
Right.
And like I guess he could just leave because there's no threat.
There's no threat, imminent
Yeah.
danger. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no. But there's probably something in that temple
I
that he
think
probably
so.
wants.
He probably wants, yeah.
This is where the screenwriters come in, and they come
And
up with the
that's,
thing.
That's just sort of the initial thrust of it.
Right.
Yeah.
But the pitch is Bubbles.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones meets Bubbles.
So I think we probably should end this.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think we're on to something. I
think
don't know
so.
how you feel.
No, I feel this is a good start.
I think it's a good start.
When we
somewhere to
actually
start.
do start the podcast, I think that we should look back on this
And sort of use this as like
a blueprint.
right.
Yeah,
That's a great way to put it. Yeah.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Awesome.
That's good. Yeah. Oh, that's what they say. They usually say at the end, like, this was fun.
This was
Right.
fun.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying
Yeah.
to think of the things that they say. Oh, we should do this again.
We should do this
Like
again.
and subscribe. Yeah.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
hmm Oh, you can find me
Yeah.
here.
Leave a review.
Right.
Yeah. Check out our tour dates.
Check out our tour dates. Oh, we're on these. We'll be on these platforms.
Yeah.
hmm
See you next time.
See you next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
I think so.
All right. Cool.
Cool.